What's going on, everybody? My name is Ben and welcome back to the bench for another episode here on our F9F-8P Photo Cougar for the Recon group build. And I have jumped right in here to the action and I'm trying to figure out how to get these wings joined together. We have a problem, the fact that there is no real locating pins to get this thing lined up correctly. So I thought about maybe adding a little bit of some styrene or something to act as a ledge. Maybe the wing could kind of sit on that a bit, but I don't really think it works. I think it actually interferes with the wing and kind of pushes it up too far, and I don't really know what to do with that. So I just thought I would maybe add one here, and I'm going to throw one on the other side as well, just to try something different. That's one of the things about Kitty Hawk. It has really pushed me to try different approaches, because my typical skill set that I would use for, say, like a Tamiya or Hasegawa kit, they don't really cut it here for Kitty Hawk. Also, on the wings, I wanted to go ahead and put together the flaps, and I'm not really sure if this is correct, but because these flaps are two pieces, there is a bit of a seam that runs right down the middle of the flap on the undersurface. So I don't really know if that's correct. I need to look back to my references and figure out if indeed there is a seam line there, or if it's just something that Kitty Hawk did. Who knows why? So I'm not really sure, but we're going to go ahead and jump into our very first time lapse, and I want to go ahead and get all of these flaps put together, and then attach them into the wings. And then I want to go ahead and turn my attention over to the photo nose. There's a lot of equipment up there I need to go ahead and build, a lot of it being 3, 4, 5 different parts just to make one unit. So I'm going to go ahead and get on that and see how that goes together. I'm still not really sure if I want to keep that door open to look at the instruments and the details, or if I want to go ahead and close it up and just forget about it. So I don't know yet. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump into that first time lapse and just see what we can do, guys. Let's get this party started. All right, everybody, we are back. And as you can see, we have the photo nose all nicely put together. And to be honest, it's not half bad. It looks pretty accurate in terms of plastic versus real life. I have reference photos that show the internals, and this isn't actually too far off. Of course, the problem comes when I try to go ahead and fit this up inside the nose. Now, Kitty Hawk's designed this to have a little bit of almost like a shelf that it sits on, and then it's supposed to line up with the entire rear section. And as you can see, it sits way too high. You can actually see the bottom of the photo nose floor. And as far as I can tell from my references, that's completely incorrect. Most of the references I've seen show the cameras to be almost flat to the bottom of the nose, and you can actually see the majority of the cameras through the windows. So that's not really that great. We're going to have to figure that out. But one of the good things we have here is that these side doors they work very well being posed open. There's a couple of locating tabs which aren't really there for any other reason except to keep these doors open, because when you close it, you got to cut off the tabs because they won't fit otherwise. This is actually going to be very easy to go ahead and kick that door open, but my major issue comes with how the camera bay actually goes together and fits up inside the nose. That really doesn't look right to me. Now, when we go ahead and match this up to the front of the aircraft, it's not bad, to be honest. I thought it would be a lot worse than this. There will be some sanding, some seam filling and all that required, but it's not actually as bad as I thought it was going to be. Now, quickly off camera, I came in with my hobby knife and my sprue cutters and I actually altered the floor just a little bit so that it would actually fit a little bit farther forward and that it would sit lower to the ground. And I think that actually works, but we do have a little bit of an issue with the floor. It kind of protrudes a bit more on the side. I'm not really sure what to do with that. But I think we're going to go ahead and call it quits for today, guys. A little bit of a shorter episode, but I have spent way too long on this photo nose already, and I have some thinking to do. I need to figure out how to A, get these wings attached, and B, how to get the nose lined up correctly. Again, if I go ahead and open the doors, these tabs on the side door work perfectly to go ahead and have a little support so that these doors can be glued into place. But there's no detail on the undersurface of the doors themselves, so if that is open, you're going to notice that there's nothing there. So I'm going to have to scratch build that. Also, the interior just sits way too low, so we have to figure out how to do that as well. Most of the seams on the fuselage I'm pretty happy with, so I'm going to go ahead and say that we are done with the major fuselage sanding. We're going to go ahead and have to prime everything though, and so that'll be the real indicator if our seams actually worked out. But until our next episode, you know the drill. Go out there, get yourself some bench time, have some fun, build something cool, and we'll see you back here on episode number 7 for the Recon group build and our F9F-8P Photo Cougar. Thanks so much, everybody. We'll see you soon.